Hey everybody, Stephanie here from Caesar North America, and I'm so excited to be talking about one of our best, newest, favorite products, and that is Easy Color DTV. This is a package of it, and you can buy it with a big package. You can see one shirt has faded, one has not, and the vinyl hasn't faded. That's the big thing. But let me talk about the stretchability of this, and I want you to know I'm really stretching so that you can see how it doesn't pop, it doesn't crack, it doesn't break. This is Leonardo, and I'm going to show you real quickly how easy it is to do a print and cut. I'm going to double click, and when I do, the software knows automatically that this is a print and cut file. Watch how that just lays down into that heat. And you can see. This is a little lightweight rain jacket. I have embroidered on it here. So this B is embroidered. This is a printable vinyl, that Easy Color DTV that I've talked about. So this is one of my favorite things, and look how phenomenal.
Hi everyone and welcome. I am Gina from Gina C Creates. I will be showing you how to make a layered cake topper in Design Space by using just simple SVG elements you can find online. I am using a Cricut Explore Air 2 cutting machine, so you can use my free Graduation Elements SVG file. First, we're going to use the text tool so we can personalize our cake topper. We are going to select it and go to combine and hit weld. And this will make all our text layers fuse together so it could cut in one piece. You have to ungroup each letter and move them to flow inside the banner. And that's how you can turn basic shapes into a stunning layered cake topper. Here are all the layers for the first cake topper laid out. So thank you guys so much for joining me here today, and don't forget to grab my free SVG freebie.
Hi, I'm Emily from Harper & Co. Today I have a spring banner for you. I'll show you how easy it is to customize this template for any event that you have. Plus I have a trick to adjust your font so that your banner assembles quickly and easily. You can see I've already uploaded my files to Design Space. The spring banner is 3 layers and it's ready to cut. And I'll show you that the 3 layers work together to give the overall. The first thing I want to do now that I've selected a font that I like. This one is kind of a chunkier one, and I tend to think that works well for banners, so it can be seen easier from far away. Easiest thing to do is to cut the banner piece out 5 times and cut out of paper and cut it out of adhesive vinyl. But we want to make sure that we like the way it fits first. So I like to put each letter over top and make sure it fits. Now that I've got everything cut out, I'll show you how easy this is to assemble.
Hi, my name is Nancy from Better Life Blog. In this workshop, I'll be teaching you how to design your very own 3D paper flowers using Cricut Design Space. You'll learn to use all the tools inside of Cricut Design Space, and no prior design experience is required. I am in Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to create a new project by clicking on this green button in the upper right hand corner that says New Project. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a couple of different shapes here. Let's try, click on that, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try a heart. So now we've got our main petal shape, and we're gonna make several of these. All right, and now I'm gonna go ahead and cut mine out. My paper is 8.5 by 11. If you have a Cricut Explore Air or a machine that has a dial, you wanna change the dial over to the custom setting. So I'm gonna choose medium cardstock, and then I'll go ahead and make the cut, and I'm going to show you how I put this together. Now I've got all my pieces cut out. All right, so here is the finished flower.
I'm Terry Johnson of Terry Johnson Creates and All Things Silhouette. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how I created these Gerbera Daisy files. Okay, so here we are in Silhouette Studio. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is set up your page. You're going to select your machine, which for my case is a Cameo 5. I'm going to drag it across my workspace. All right, so now we have a nice looking petal. I'm going to make a copy of this because just in case we need it again, and I'm going to do that by holding down my Option or my Alt key and dragging away a copy. Now, if I were to click on replicate without adjusting that center of rotation, this is what you would get. And there's your daisy. It looks great. So here we are with a whole bunch of different flower petals cut out. This is a curling tool. I got this off of Amazon, I believe, and I'll provide all of these links for you. And that's it. Your daisy is complete.
Hi, I'm Leisha from Caught by Design, and in this class, I am going to show you how to use the Silhouette software to create a print and cut card that pops.
First, you'll need some basic card making supplies. I'm going to use a scoring board and a bone folder to create my card base. I'm going to use this heavyweight 120 pound cover stock for the base and 110 pound index weight for the print and cut.
It's a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that I have just cut in half. So it is 4.25 by 11.
Now let's create the cut file in Silhouette Studio. The card front, the card mat, and several sentiments with mats. When I double click on it, it opens on my design page. So I'm going to print this out and then I'll come back and we'll be ready to cut it. So my page printed out just like it showed on the screen with the registration square in the upper left-hand corner. Let's put it together. And there you have it.
I am so happy to have you joining us today. We are going to kick things off with how to put an all-over texture like this high-resolution scan of watercolor paper into Repeat. As you can see as I zoom in here, it's pretty textured. It's currently 18 by 24 at 1200 dpi. Before you start painting, you want to make sure that you have the layer mask selected and not the artwork layer. Now we're going to go over to Illustrator to bring a vector design into Photoshop. Save each layer by color into its own file, and then we're going to open all the layers in Photoshop and reassemble the file in Photoshop in layers. I think the linear burn might work also the best with this option as well. I just encourage you to experiment, try new things. Right now we have it with the dark blue over the dark blue with white coming through the background. So I hope you enjoyed this all.
So I'm a crafter, as you can see behind me, and I started with a Cricut and I started making SVGs. And then in 2016, 17, I was like, I should do a blog. Me and my sister-in-law who love to craft were like, well, we can make that, because now you can with all the technology and stuff that we're given as crafters. It's not just sewing, your kids' clothes anymore. Crafting is way, way beyond that. I spent about 10 years probably 15 or more years, almost hiding that creative talent. And all it did was hold me back. People in my world that were constantly barking that the creative talent was worth zero. And once I switched that mindset, it 6 times my business, which I thought had tapped out.
Hey everyone, welcome so much to today's Etsy training. I am so excited to be here with you all. So back in the day, when we were first married, I started selling at craft fairs. Some of this resonates with some of you all because I know you have done this and been here as well. It was at this craft fair that a lady walked up to me and she said, "Have you heard about Etsy? Do you sell on Etsy?" No, I don't know that people actually make money online. She just told me, "I really think you should check out Etsy. I think you should put your stuff up on Etsy." Here is later what my shop evolved to. My first full year on Etsy, you guys, I made almost $40,000, which blows my mind. And I knew that I was going to be able to not have to go to craft fairs anymore, not have to pre-make all of this stuff and sit on it hoping that it's going to sell, not take away my weekends from my family and my kids. And since then, Etsy has allowed us the opportunity to be able to do so much with our family and to give them the life that I wanted to give them. And now my days look like this and this. What was I doing even that first year that was working for me that helped me grow my Etsy shop?
So happy to be here. I've known Karina for 20 years? I mean, since we've all
Well, when you said digital scrapbooking, I was like, oh my gosh, has it really been that long?
There's so much to do. I mean, it's crazy how much technology has evolved as well. And then here we are with these little things in our pockets that can do so much, right? When it comes to business, I mean, think about it now, Karina, like when I was younger, we didn't have the internet to sell things online. There wasn't an Etsy. And so I would love to show you guys how to take a better photo of a product so that you can get it online and sell it. Like some of you may have a craft room. I did not have a craft room when I was this young mother. So I would pull all my scrapbook stuff out, put it on the kitchen table. I could get like one page done during nap time and put it all back. And I saw a lady that showed me her digital scrapbook 12 by 12. And I'm like, I love paper and I love creating, but also like, I don't have to have this big mess. Like show me how to do this on a computer. And so I went to our local college and I took a class on Photoshop. The person that taught this class had a pro photo lab. And he gave us all a coupon. He's like, now come and print your 12 by 12 here. And so I went there and it was like night and day quality. And so I figured out, I'm like, listen, if we could do high volume, why can't we make it $1.99? One thing that was really challenging, they're like $150,000 for a machine to print these pages. So I created like a system for your photos that you can literally swipe your photo in the app into a box and the box shows up at your door. 30 pictures a month or 30 pictures per box. You can have as many boxes as you'd like. And
hello, everyone. My name is Cheryl Kuchek, and I'm with Sublimation for Beginners and Beyond Facebook group. So today I'm here to just go over some success tips. This actually takes a 3D heat press, and they come out absolutely stunning. The sublimated lamp and that plate, it's a coupe plate. Just love it. Okay, so let's get started. I want to get every aspect. How we will lay down our image and with our spray, and we're just going to pre-press it. You can just do it for a few seconds. All right, and flip over and look at how sweet that is.
Hello, my name is Liz Volpe-Impastato. I am a graphic designer and illustrator who has done work for companies like Raising Cane's and Paperlike. The supplies I'll be using are 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 inch computer paper, a ruler, a mechanical pencil, and a mechanical eraser, but a regular pencil and eraser will work fine. So I've started off by just writing the phrase that I intend to letter on my card, and I'm just going to start off by writing down ideas that come to mind when I think about the phrase, another trip around the sun. In design, compositional elements are the most basic pieces that interact to create a whole. These are shape, form, line, spacing, texture, color, and value, or how dark or light something is, or how saturated a color is.
Hello and welcome to our session. We're going to be talking about crafty icebreakers and energizers. Kick off with a little bit of background in terms of why icebreakers and energizers are quite important for teams. So we're going to kick off with a fun sort of energizer. It's called 30 circles. We're going to draw a bunch of circles, and I normally draw about 9 just to give myself some leeway.
And I found a few here that I'd drawn another time, but you can see the kind of things that you can come up with. But the exercise we've just run in 30 circles is a really great energizer if you're about to get a group to try and think creatively. So rather than just getting a group of people together, they're all cold and saying, right,
Hey, I'm Jennifer with Pigskins and Pigtails, and if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you know I'm obsessed with screen printing using vinyl that I cut on my Cricut machine. These kits were specifically made for crafters who are using a vinyl cutter like your Cricut. For today's project, we'll be using my deluxe kit. Here's what you will find inside this kit. In addition to these supplies, it's also helpful to have a roll of painter's tape, and you'll need blank shirts or whatever you want to print your design on. I'm going to be using my Cricut Maker for this project, but any of the Cricut machines will work since you're simply using it to cut adhesive vinyl. This is what the design looks like. I've already set up the file so it's ready to cut. Included in the kit is a piece of parchment paper, and you'll just slide that inside your shirt. And this is going to catch any ink that might go through the first layer of your shirt so that it doesn't get on the back of your shirt. And you can see the blue ink has printed on the shirt, and we have our 4 registration boxes printed on that transfer tape.
I actually went to college for a mixture of TV news, so broadcast journalism, and interactive media, which was basically social media graphic design before it became what it is today. So my business is called Whiskey and Wit, and the biggest portion of my business is YouTube content creation. So I have a YouTube channel. I feel like I've always had like a crafter spirit. I was always like younger, always wanting to do, crafty type things. I got into crafting for my wedding. I got married in 2017. And I learned, like most brides, a lot of the things that I wanted were going to cost a lot of money that I didn't have. And so naively, I thought, how hard could this be? So I asked for the Christmas prior, I asked for a Cricut and got it, made some money on the side while I was doing that, and was able to DIY my whole wedding. So that's kind of what started everything. And then I was on YouTube watching videos, learning how to do it. And I had learned, tips and tricks of ways that worked for me. So I decided to start creating videos and hopefully be able to help, the next group of folks like the YouTubers before me helped me.
Hey you guys, I'm Teresa Collins and I'm so excited to be invited to teach with this fabulous event. You're gonna see, because I'm gonna show you that I've created it. This is all Teresa Collins paper, really beautiful thick paper and adornments. Excited to share this folio with you. So one of the things I love to do is show how to take something as simple as signatures, tassels, buttons. This is the Teresa Collins 12x12 paper. It's very heavyweight, so I do recommend that you use a double-sided heavyweight cardstock weight paper to make your folio. This is the paper that I'm using. This is the Teresa Collins Favorites. This is very heavyweight, beautiful paper that you're absolutely gonna love. So you could use this and you'll need 1 sheet just to create the folio, 8 1/4 and 8 3/4. And that is how you're gonna get the 4 lines and 3/4. You are going to, and by the way, they are, I created this just on my own, so like you can change it up. If you don't want it that wide, you don't have to have it that wide, but I did want it to be big enough that I could fold it and have things inside. And that is how you just keep adding things to your signature.
One of my favorite ways to use Firefly is actually through mock-ups. So we're gonna start by putting in just mock-up, because I think if you can just start there, then you can kind of see what happens. The next thing is make sure your content type is set to photo, okay? And the reason you need it set to photo is because you want it to look like a photograph. So I'm trying to get the main things in there. So I want it to be a mock-up. I want 4 inches by 6 inches white card, flat lay, flowers on the edges, and what do we want for our background? Like wood background, okay? Let's see what it gives us. This actually works out nicely. This is doable, you guys. Look at that. How nice is that? That actually looks pretty darn good. I'm really impressed. Put it in as your reference, right? So you can download it and make it your reference. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this one, not enough, even though I love the layout of it. So that's actually very, very helpful. So flowers on the edge helped a little bit on that.
Hey everyone, welcome to Getting Started with Digital Lettering, 3 easy steps to jumpstart your success. It is a faster process than traditional pens and paper. Mistakes are non-existent in the digital world because they are very, very easy to correct, especially with this digital lettering app. Step 1 is learn the technology. So step 2 is to choose the right brush. Step 3 is to use the calligraphy brushes to practice the 8 strokes. Here we are in Procreate, and this is the 8 basic strokes practice sheet that I have provided for you. So this baseline, this is where all the bottoms of our letters sit. So we're just going to start at the X height and do a thick stroke down. So we go light pressure up and heavy pressure down. So it's all about mastering the strokes and then learning how to put them together to form letters.